matchup, Wooster Generals versus Mansfield Senior Tigers.
The Tigers of Mansfield Senior are looking to snap a 3-game losing streak against the Wooster Generals as they entertain Wooster tonight here at Pete Henry Gymnasium in an OCC matchup. It's the Tigers and the Generals next.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Wooster, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pete Henry Gymnasium. I'm Brian Harder along with Greg Collins, and we have the Tigers of Mansfield Senior hosting the Wooster Generals. Wooster's 7-1 overall, 5-0 in the OCC. Mansfield Senior 2-3. They are 1-1 in conference play. Last week, Wooster was defeated for the first time this season by Massillon, Washington, 76-69 on Tuesday night. Braden Hamilton went 6 for 8 from behind the three-point line and scored 22 points. David Nolan added 15, and Micah McKee added 13. For the Tigers, they defeated the International Sports Academy out of Willoughby 54-49 last Saturday. Shad Kramer led the Tigers with 14 points. Emil Upchurch added 13, and Nathaniel Haney chipped in with 12 points off the bench. And Greg, for Mansfield Senior, it was pretty much as they expect. Their offense really revolves around Shad Kramer.
Well, it certainly does. He's a returning varsity player, second team all-conference last year. You expect someone like that to be able to contribute offensively, but in a game like we're going to have tonight, the other players are going to have to be there with him.
Well, and we were talking about this before the game. Obviously, they need to get better offensive production out of, especially when you look inside at some of the size they have, they need to be able to compete in the paint.
Well, they do. I mean, Wooster is a type of team. They're going to get up and down the court. They're going to put a lot of pressure defensively. It's going to give you some times where you can hit the offensive boards, you can dribble penetrate, and the bigs for Mansfield Senior have to take advantage and get on the backboard and get some offensive rebounds.
Now, this is an important game for Mansfield Senior as we look at the conference standings, because Wooster is all alone at the top at 5-0. They're
Right.
followed by Ashland at 4-1. And right there in third place is Mansfield Senior at 1-1. So if they have any chance or any hopes of winning the conference, tonight's game is crucial.
Well, it is. You know, you have to win your home games. And right now, relatively early in the season, Wooster and Ashland seem to separate themselves from everybody else. But Mansfield Senior tonight can make a dent into that and put their name up there with those two schools.
And they have an opportunity, especially because the game is being played here at Pete Henry.
Well, and that should make a big difference. You would hope for a night like this we would have a sellout crowd maybe, but obviously tonight because of COVID we're not going to have that. But it is a comfort level when you're playing at home.
Now, for Mansfield Senior, what do you think are the keys to tonight's game?
Well, first and foremost, they're going to have to handle the basketball. You can see on our graphic that they average 15.8 turnovers a game, and tonight they're going to be tested. Wooster's going to come out and give you full court pressure. They're going to trap, and they're going to try to cause turnover. Second chance points. We talked about that, Brian. But Wooster's going to give you the chance to hit the offensive boards. Now, Senior High is only shooting about 36% from the field. So they know they're going to have to create some offense besides just their half-court offense. They're going to have to do a transition or get on the offensive boards. And again, Maurice Ware, Chapman, Upchurch, those are three players that are very capable of doing it.
Now, the third key here, PPP, points per possession, that's not something that a lot of people would know about.
Well, it to me, and I think most coaches, it's one of the most important because the game, when you're playing against Wooster, you're going to have a lot of possessions. When you're playing against West Holmes, you're going to have few possessions. Points per possession, you want to be above 1 offensively, which means every possession your team has, you score at least 1 point. And then defensively, you want to be around 0.9. You can see what Senior High has right there, and somehow they have to get that flipped. They have to have a 1.06 offensively, and boy, it'd be great defense if they could keep their opponents to 0.84.
Now, we look at the other side of this in Wooster. Their keys for tonight's game, they obviously want to force Mansfield Senior to turn the ball over.
Well, I had a coach tell me this week that over 30% of Wooster's offense is from creating turnovers, and they're going to be doing it by trapping and steals. They average around 14, 15 steals a game. Now, what that tells me, if you get a steal, so often that leads to an uncontested layup. those are easy points. The steal is the hard part. The layup is the easy part. So they want to do what they usually do in forced turnovers. Penetrate the lane. Hey, they're only shooting 28% from the three-point line. Now, you mentioned Hamilton. He's an exception. You have to put a hand up in his face. But the other players, keep them out of the lane. Don't let them get easy baskets. And you made a good point early on. Don't let this game get out of hand if you're senior high. If you're Wooster, jump on senior high early.
We're about 30 seconds away from the opening tip-off here at Pete Henry as we take a look at the starting lineups for both the Tigers and the Generals. Chad Kramer, as we said, is their leading scorer. He leads them out of the backcourt. He's joined by Trevin Hines, Maurice Ware, Emil Upchurch, the transfer from Ontario, who has played very well, and D'Angelo Chapman is in the middle. For Wooster, Owen Roach, the quarterback from the football team, he is one of their guards. Micah McKee, Drew Dossey, who's their point guard, he distributes the ball very well. Braden Hamilton is their outside threat, and David Nolan gives them about 15 points per game. We're going to pause now for the playing and singing of our national anthem.
To honor America and respect for all who have served our country, to defend the freedoms we enjoy, we ask gentlemen to remove your hats and stand for the playing of our national anthem.
And we are back here at Pete Henry Gymnasium, just a few seconds away from the opening tip-off. As we said, Mansfield Senior 2-3 overall, but they are 1-1 in conference play. Wooster at 7-1 and 5-0 in the OCC. And I'll tell you what, I know we've had a lot of limitations because of COVID, but it is nice to see a lot more fans in the stands tonight for this matchup.
Well, it is. You wish it could be a full house, but, whatever we can get right now, we'll take. And it looks like we're going to go the remainder of the season with a limited crowd.
Wooster, they were a team that last year won 20 ball games, only lost 3, but they play in a very tough sectional. They ended up getting beat by Youngstown Boardman 58-41 in their sectional final. They're a team that is really – they've been near the top of the OCC for the last few years now. They're kind of setting the bar.
Well, they are. I think everybody that I talk to talks about Coach Snowbarger being a very good coach. He gets his kids to play hard. They're very skilled players. And then it helps when you have a move-in like they have a move-in in Nolan. But, he's just done a great job. And, again, it's going to be a tall task tonight for senior high because of that.
Outside of Chad Kramer, are there a couple of guys in particular that you feel need to step up?
Well, I think it's going to have to be more than 2 or 3 guys, Brian. I think because of the way that Wooster plays, senior high is going to have to take care of the basketball. Yeah, Chad Kramer is their best ball handler they have, but he's going to get trapped. And senior high's got to realize the ball moves quicker than people move. So if you can keep that ball moving, before the trap comes, it makes life a lot easier, which means all 5 guys on the court have to be involved.
You know, the irony is you were talking about Wooster in our pregame and talking about how they like to create points off of turnovers.
Right.
It reminded me of that team over there and what
exactly.
they want to be.
And Marquis Sykes made that comment before the game to me. He said, Wooster is playing like we want to play. And hopefully Senior High will get to that point soon.
Opening tip-off, controlled by the Generals. That's McKee getting tripped up in the lane, and he will be fouled by D'Angelo Chapman.
Again, it's going to be a game of a lot of possessions. Wooster is not going to be overly patient with the basketball. They're going to look to dribble, penetrate. If they don't have it, kick for a shot.
That's Nolan, who misfires on his first shot of the ball game. Able to get the offensive rebound, but again, he's fouled. So 2 quick fouls for Mansfield Senior in this first possession.
Plus 1 offensive rebound, which is, again, when you're the underdog, which I think Senior High is tonight, you can't give second chance points to your opponent.
Kramer was whistled for the personal foul. That's Hamilton, who is their best outside shooter. And Nolan again is going to be fouled as he goes into the lane. Take a look at the replay here.
You noticed on that, and that was a good move by Nolan, but you notice Maurice Ware did a great job of getting a hand up on the shooter, a very good three-point shooter, and then on the penetration north-south, he didn't help from ball side. And we've talked about that. You have a tendency to leave the corner man and help, but if that corner man's a shooter, you can't leave him.
Wooster comes out with that pressure. The Tigers do a nice job. Well, I was going to say they do a nice job of breaking it, then they turn the ball over.
And Wooster's just going to be relentless on that.
Trying to go up ahead to McKee, and they turn the ball over and give it right back to the Tigers.
But one thing, Brian, on the trap, if you can break that trap, then for a split second you have 4 versus 3. Now's your chance to dribble, penetrate, get to the basket.
Well, then a double dribble, and one of these Mansfield Senior turns the ball over enough against pressure. They cannot afford to have unforced errors.
Well, exactly. Here we've had 2 possessions and haven't had a shot up yet. But this is how Wooster wants to play.
An off-balance shot, and the Tigers control the rebound as Kramer pushes up to Maurice Ware. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Maurice Ware.
That's a tough one. And, you know, they had transition going. They had Maurice Ware out there, and you can't fault him for taking the ball strong to the hole.
Little full-court man now by the Tigers. McKee.
Nice backdoor cut, and they get a layup.
Nice
and
look
again,
inside. That's Drew Dossie with his first bucket of the ball game, and the Generals are up 4 and another turnover. And Braden Hamilton, the junior, gets his first bucket of the game, and this could get out of control early.
Well, it can, and this is what Wooster scores in spurts, and obviously they have a spurt going right now.
Kramer with a nice pass to Ware.
Nice take.
And Ware's going to draw the foul, looks like on Owen Roach. And as we talked about in the keys of the ball game, Wooster trying to get out and get up early, and they're forcing some turnovers with their defense.
That, number 1, and number 2, they're getting the ball to the basket. Their shots selection right now is, about 2 feet from the basket? Somehow Senior High has to keep them away from the lane and take control of the basketball. That was a nice transition there.
Maurice Ware looking for Mansfield Senior's second point of the ball game and gets them both.
That was big. You want to stop the bleeding, take the ball strong to the basket, pick up the foul, hit the free throws. That was a big, hopefully, momentum shift for the Tigers.
Owen Roach with the left hand into the lane. So the Tigers now down by 6, and Wooster with a lot of balance. 4 of their 5 starters in the scoring column.
And a block shot inside. They did what they wanted to do, get the ball inside to D'Angelo Chapman, but just can't convert.
Some contact, but the shot goes by Nolan. Nolan now leads all scorers with 4.
You want to remember the pass is going to be a lot quicker than the defense, a lot quicker than dribbling.
Ware's unable to finish, but Chapman with an offensive rebound, and we talked about needing more offense out of D'Angelo Chapman.
Right. Unfortunately, Senior High hadn't had very many shots on at the basket yet.
Long shot by Hamilton doesn't go, and the Tigers with a chance to trim it to 4.
Here's a 3-on-2.
Upchurch with a strong take, finishes with the left hand.
And that was a strong take, you're right. Now down here at the half court, you got to keep them away from the lane. Good block by D'Angelo, and they're off and running.
Upchurch quickly at the other end. He'll draw the foul, and he's got an opportunity to bring the Tigers to within 2.
That was a good look, good full court pass, and a good catch by Emil Upchurch.
So Upchurch at the line for the Tigers. He's a transfer from Ontario. 75% free throw shooter, averages 9 a game.
And I believe he didn't start last Saturday. I believe there were a couple of these guys. I don't believe Chapman started. I don't think Emil started. And I'm wondering if it wasn't Coach Sykes maybe sending a message. We need a little bit more out of you guys. And so far they've responded.
I've really been impressed with the energy level that we have seen out of the Tigers. And when they got down early, they didn't hang their heads. They kept playing hard.
You're right. And I like this. Going to man pressure, more of a contained defense, but again, they got to keep from getting into the lane.
Dossie tripped up, and that's going to go against Shad Kramer, and that will be Kramer's second foul.
That's big. Again, he's their number 1 ball handler. He's a senior. He's got experience. You like to have him with the basketball against this full court pressure. But I think with 2 fouls, Marquise probably has to give him a break.
He's going to come out. Malachi Johnson, the junior, will check in. So now the Tigers have to rethink some things offensively.
Well, they're not going to have Shad probably for the rest of this quarter. But again, it was going to have to be ball handling by committee anyway.
Nolan with a layup. And now Nolan with 6. The lead is back up to 5 for Wooster. Maurice Ware in the lane.
Nice take. That ball's got to go in.
Just couldn't get it to go. And Chapman there fighting for the offensive rebound. It's going to stay with the Tigers.
That was a good take by Maurice, and they had numbers. Again, once you break that trap, especially in the full court, you're going to have a number break if you can take advantage of it. And so far, Senior High is getting the numbers down there and taking advantage.
Miles Bradley now into the lineup for the Tigers. He's wearing 0. And that's Johnson with the basketball. Upchurch just being hounded by Tyler Patarini.
You can see that Wooster doesn't want you to reverse the basketball. Nice Euro. Take it up strong.
Chapman with an offensive rebound. It's swatted away, and here come the Generals in transition. Up ahead to Nolan. And Nolan now with 8. And the lead is back to 7.
He's a good athlete. He took that ball up strong.
Ware from the elbow.
That's a good jump shot by Maurice.
There's a certain edge about these Tigers tonight.
I think especially Maurice Ware. I think D'Angelo Chapman's playing hard, but I think Maurice Ware is playing real hard right now.
McKee with a fake on the baseline gets it to go. But we could have a good old-fashioned track meet here.
Well, we could. Again, that's what Wooster wants. We hope Senior High can stay in with it.
Bradley inside the lane. They push the ball up ahead to Petterini.
You can see the Wooster's willing to trap off the miss. They just want to go after the basketball.
Upchurch turns it over to Nolan. And Nolan lays it up and in. He's now in double figures with 10. And a timeout taken by the Tigers. 2:29 to go in the first quarter as you see the turnover and the layup by Nolan. And it's now an 18-9 lead. Brian Harder, Greg Collins from Pete Henry. And another run here now. It looks like it's in the making for Wooster. A good timeout by Marquise Sykes.
Yeah, I think so. And, I bet you he's sharing with them the shot chart for Wooster. And again, has there been a shot outside of 2 feet?
No.
Everything is right to the basket. It's okay to press. It's okay to give ball pressure, but you have to contain the ball handler either with the man guarding the ball or as a team. Again, Wooster shoots about 28% from the three-point line. That's not bad, but it's not great. Now, Hamilton is a great shooter. Maurice Ware did a good job early getting hand up on him. But the other players you can maybe help off of and keep them from getting to the paint and especially to the basket.
Tigers down by 9, 2:25 to go in the opening quarter.
One of the few times we're going to see some half-court offense today. And it's not going to look as pretty as it probably would with Shad Kramer out there, the veteran.
Upchurch tries to split 2 defenders, and he's going to draw the foul.
Well, as a Mansfield Senior person, I'm glad that he got fouled, but that was a tough drive. There was a lot of hands right in there, and
Brock Hill now into the Tiger lineup as Upchurch gets a rest with 2:06 to go in the first quarter. Ware strong on the baseline.
He's one guy the coach has to keep fresh. He is playing well tonight. Great take, strong take, got his shoulders parallel to the backboard, and got the basket.
Petterini for 3. They left him wide open, and he knocks it down, and now Wooster up by 10.
Right after I said they only shoot 28%.
Well, but
Here
they also
have a
gave
kid.
him a wide open look.
Well, it was a good look. You're right.
Ware again with a jump stop in the baseline. And I'll tell you what, Maurice Ware averages 8 points a ball game, and he's already at his average with 1:26 to go in the first quarter.
He's doing it at both ends, and that was not easy. That was against a trap. He split it and then jump stop before he would get an offensive charge.
There we
Great
see
move.
that.
Split the trap,
Yep.
jump stop, and take it up strong. The only thing I would like to see is maybe a couple of Tigers on the backside hitting the offensive boards.
Drew Dawsey at the line for the Generals.
And they're going to be in the 1-on-1 from now on, so it's going to be a long quarter if Senior High fouls.
The foul was on Malachi Johnson. That's his first.
Now, Wooster averages 17 attempts a game from the free throw line. That shows you how aggressive they are. They'll take the ball hard to the basket, and they've shown it tonight.
Lead back up to 10. Tigers trying to get their second win in the OCC and give the Generals their first loss in conference play. Ware open for 3. Bradley fights for the backside rebound. And Ware again, he loves that baseline. They're going to call an offensive foul on Ware.
And I think it was a good call. He drove baseline, and, Wooster's smart. They've realized that out of the 13 points, most of it is coming from Maurice Ware dribble penetration. So when he gets the basketball, there's always 3 guys around. And that time Maurice didn't jump stop and got the offensive foul.
Ethan Hahn, a sophomore, drives the lane. The Tigers can't give that up.
No, that's just too easy. A ball screen, and, you can't let a guy get to the basket.
Tigers with another turnover up ahead to Hahn. And Hahn with 4 quick points. And as we approach 20 seconds to go in the quarter, it's now a 14-point deficit. Johnson in the double team.
Now, quickly move it. Ball's got to move, reverse it. Notice how they have 5 guys on ball side, Wooster does. They're going to try to cut down penetration, obviously.
Well, and also the spacing for Mansfield Senior. Bradley picked up the ball and had 2 Tigers within about 8 feet of him.
Right. Yeah, you want to have better spacing. And the other thing against pressure is you don't want to catch the ball and right away put it on the floor. If you're going to put it on the floor, it's because you're penetrating. But don't just dribble in one spot.
Nathaniel Haney in the ball game, and the Tigers get a bucket at the end of the opening quarter. But the Generals are 27 points in the first quarter, and they take a 27-15 lead. As we go to the second, you're watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Tigers down by 12 as we start the second quarter. Shad Kramer still on the bench with 2 fouls. Hamilton misfires from 3.
I think that's the first good look he's had tonight, so that's a good sign. They know where he is.
Wooster with another turnover. Here comes Ethan Hahn, the sophomore. Angelo Chapman clears the miss. And this is the pace that Wooster wants.
Yeah, they want to get up and down. And you know, I think Senior High is running pretty well with them. At least Senior High going to the offensive end. They're not getting back on defense as well as I would like.
Shad Kramer coming back into the lineup along with Emil Upchurch. So Kramer in with 2 fouls with 7:18 to go, and let's see if he can get to halftime without committing that third personal.
Good out of bounds play.
Chapman loses the handle in the lane.
And again, if you're Senior, that's what you want to. You want to get Chapman the ball within 3-4 feet of the basket. He just has to be stronger with the basketball.
Bradley clears the rebound. Kramer at the other end for the Tigers.
Now keep it moving. There we go. Penetrate. Good. Keep it moving. Ball moves quicker than defense does.
Kramer thought about the 3. Does a nice job kicking it out to Upchurch. Haney from the elbow, and the banks are open. That's Chunky. Chunky Haney.
Yeah, which he doesn't look chunky, but that's what, 5 straight points for him?
I love that nickname.
Yeah.
But when I saw the nickname and I looked for him on the floor, my eyes didn't exactly.
No.
Another offensive rebound, and that's something that the Tigers cannot afford to do, but they're going to get a 3-second call. To this point, they had done a pretty good job of limiting Wooster to just 1 shot.
Yeah, they have, but what we're going to test is the conditioning level of both teams because they're getting up and down the court. And Wooster is used to this. We'll see what kind of a bench they play. Senior high has been playing a lot of players, but only getting a contribution from a handful.
Anthony Pearson now in the lineup for Mansfield Senior. Kramer blocked. They've done a pretty good job of limiting Hamilton on his outside looks. He's attempted 1-3, and that was an air ball. And the Tigers get it back down by 10.
Number 23, Anthony Pearson, is someone that, I could see him just improving as the season progresses. He didn't play a lot last year for a very good Walnut Ridge team. Transferred up here. And
another turnover. It's pushed ahead to Dossie. And Dossie is fouled. And if that's on Kramer, that's his third. And Dossie went down hard. Here's the replay. And not a smart move by Kramer with 2 fouls. Now he's got 3.
Yeah, and there's a good chance he's going to have to sit the rest of the quarter.
Dossie is up. I think the Wooster fans are not pleased with the contact, but
I don't think there was anything.
No, there was nothing
wrong with it. I mean, he was going after the basketball, and
I don't know if we can see the replay again.
Here we go.
Watch Kramer here. There was nothing.
Yeah, he has an angle. It was a foul, but it wasn't anything mischief. That's for sure.
Well, he had to come out of the ball game, so Petterini is going to shoot the free throw. He's only shot 7 free throws this season. He's connected on 5 and make that 5 of 8.
That one should count double.
Karian Lindsay now into the lineup, the freshman for the Tigers.
And this is a tall order to ask of a freshman against a very good basketball team that pressures, that traps. Hopefully the young man can handle it. Yeah, great job there. Saul over it.
Nice job. Pearson at the other end.
Take
and
it
he's
strong.
Up for a layup.
And one.
Finish,
good.
But he's fouled by Ethan Hahn, the sophomore. You take a look at the replay here. Pearson had a nice lane to the basket.
Yeah, at first when he caught it, I wasn't sure if he was going to square up or not. But as soon as he squared up, he saw he had a lane. And, again, against his pressure, catch the ball, square up, see what you have. We used to always tell our players it's almost like chess. You want to know what you want to do with the basketball before you receive the basketball, and then be ready to adjust.
Pearson hits them both. It's a 9-point lead now for the Generals.
It looks like Senior High has gone to a little bit of a zone.
Hamilton misfires. He is 0 for 2 from the 3-point
They got a run out.
And up ahead to Upchurch, but it's swatted out of bounds by Drew Dossie.
That was great hustle by a
nice
point guard.
Hustle by the Wooster point guard.
That was great. And Senior High had a transition. Good defensive rebound, good outlet pass.
Pearson for 3.
And he's supposedly one of the best three-point shooters on the team, so you got to let that young man shoot the 3.
Hamilton for 3. And he hits his first one. You knew that was coming sooner or later.
Yeah, he's shooting, 38% from three-point line, which is better than what Senior High is shooting from the field. So, yeah, you got to get a hand up in him.
That was actually probably the best shot that he has taken. He got his feet set, had a nice look at the basket.
And he didn't have Maurice Ware on him. There
Pearson
we go.
At the other end.
Good. Take the ball strong. And you can see Coach Snowbarger talking to his players. Hey, let's get back down the court. They want to run.
Inside to Roach. And Haney with the steal.
You got a 2-on-1.
And the freshman's going to be fouled, and he'll go to the line. He's a sophomore, excuse me.
The only thing I would have liked to, I love the aggressiveness, Brian. But when you have a 2-on-1, I looked like they had a 2-on-1 there at the end. Split the defense, as you talked about, spacing, and make that defensive player have a larger area to defend. Maybe probably right there he'd had to go to his left hand a little bit, but he was able to draw the foul. And, again, you like that aggressiveness. That's what you want.
Haney played very well in their win on last Saturday. Scored 12 points off the bench. Makes it a 9-point ball game with 4:15 to go in the opening half.
We'll see how the next couple of minutes go without Chapman or Ware. I mean, those two guys, I think, are playing well tonight. I know Coach Sykes doesn't want to rest them very long.
Tigers turn the ball over in transition.
Now, by my count, that's 9. That's over their average, but under what Wooster usually averages.
They go back to their 2-3. Roach inside. And Pearson comes away with the ball, but then it's a tie-up with McKee, and the possession arrow will stay with the Tigers.
That is why we always tell players to don't dribble a loose ball. Grab it, chest it, and then either outlet it or then, if you have a chance, put it on the floor. But don't dribble a rebound, don't dribble a loose ball.
Upchurch almost lost the handle. Haney for 3. And Hamilton skies for the rebound, kicks it up to Roach.
Great hustle. Great, get on the floor. Great hustle.
I like the energy.
Well,
the first quarter and a half, the Tigers have come out and played with a high level of energy.
That was all Haney, Chunky Haney. That was all him. He did a great job of sprinting back, getting in front of the ball handler, causing the loose ball, getting on the ground. I'm sure Coach Sykes is saying, hey, baby, that's what we need from everybody all the time.
That energy can be contagious, too.
Yes. Good ball movement.
Long 3 in the air for the Tigers doesn't go, as Carry-On Lindsay misfires from outside. McKee. And they're going to call a travel.
Yep, good call.
Lost control as he tried to drive baseline, and the Tigers are going to get the ball back down by 9.
I thought Anthony Pearson did a good job of giving help defense under the basket. That caused the travel.
There's McKee on a turnover. He's fouled and he'll go to the line. So Micah McKee steals the inbounds pass, and he'll go to the line looking for the three-point play. He's got 4 points on the night. Averages about 8 points, 5 rebounds a game. Only a 50% free throw shooter. And he finds all of the rim and completes the three-point play.
Yeah, I didn't think Chapman was going to be out long. I think he's playing well, and Coach Sykes gets him back in.
Haney does a nice job of sprinting down the floor.
And they have numbers. Take it up strong.
And Chapman finishes.
And again, Haney with a great pass. Chapman takes it up strong.
Chapman averages 1 point a game, and he's got 4, so that's a nice surprise for Marquis Sykes.
Senior High's playing his zone. Just close out with your hands up.
Dawsey misfires
go after
from
it.
Outside.
There we go.
And here comes Carry-On Lindsay. Haney for 3.
That's all right. Again, you saw 2 Tigers on the offensive boards. They almost got a hand on it. Well, I guess they did get a hand on it, went out of bounds. But, you got to crash those offensive boards tonight.
Hamilton again for 3.
That was a quick release.
He is 1 for 4 so far from behind the arc. He was 6 for 8 against Massillon last Tuesday in their loss.
The zone has slowed down the tempo a little bit of Wooster. If I'm senior high, though, again, I want to get my hands up a little bit more, take away some of the passing lanes.
Trying to pull them out of it a little bit here?
Yeah, looks like it. But if you're Marquis Sykes, you're only down 10. A game like this, that's nothing, and you got 2 key players on the bench. Well,
strong drive to the basket by David Nolan. Nolan now with 12, and the lead is 12. Bradley dribbles through the pressure, dishes off to Pearson.
I was a little worried in the backcourt, but he made it work. And again, penetrate the lane. Pearson crashes from the wing, and they hit him for a layup.
Nolan inside, nice.
That was a nice
touch
high
pass
low.
to McKee.
Good look.
Bradley again all the way up the floor. This time it's tapped away, though, and another turnover.
Yeah, he had the ball a little bit too far from the body, and against a team like Wooster, they're going to go after it.
Wooster up by 12. Looks like they may work for the last shot here of the half. That's the slowest I've seen Wooster so far in this half. They have played their ball game here in the first 2 quarters.
But a 12-point difference in a game like this is not insurmountable.
No.
We've had some games where 12 points and the game's over. You might as well call it. But this is going to be an up-and-down game.
Hamilton for 3. Well, I tell you what, he has not shot the ball well from the perimeter. No, he hasn't.
Now with 4.7, and Wooster's dropping back. They're doing you a favor.
I'm surprised they're not getting up and at least guarding the ball.
I am too.
Haney
get that ball up.
All the way down. Puts up an off-balance shot. That's going to do it for the first 2 quarters. The Tigers down by 12 as we head to the locker room. You're watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Wooster, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
It's halftime here at Pete Henry Gymnasium, where the Tigers down by 12, 38-26. As we take a look at the halftime numbers, Coach, Mansfield Senior is doing some good things.
Yep.
One thing that's hurting them, Shad Kramer has been held scoreless as he's got 3 personal fouls. And let's take a look at the total team numbers. Wooster's shooting a decent percentage from the floor, 13 of 22, only 2 for 8 from behind the three-point line. Braden Hamilton really struggling from the perimeter.
Yeah, fortunately that's the case. But 13 for 22, I think out of those 13 made field goals, 11, 10 at least were within 2 feet of the basket. Penetrate off either turnovers, dribble or reversal, and dribble penetrating. I thought in the second quarter, Senior High did a better job of closing off the lane, which they're going to have to continue to do, and hope that Wooster doesn't get hot from the outside. You know that Nolan eventually is going to get hot. But again, the other players are not outstanding three-point shooters. And when you're playing a team of this caliber, you have to give up something. Yeah, you'd like to have a hand in everybody's face, but you got to cut down dribble penetration, cut down second chance points, and then also get a hand in Nolan's face.
Now we take a look at the Tigers, and they're 0 for 5 from behind the three-point line. They're not a good perimeter shooting team to begin with. If you're Coach Sykes, are you telling them we want to attack the basket more?
Well, I thought that's where they had their most success here in the game so far. I thought they've done a good job once they break the pressure, especially the trap. Now, they haven't done that consistently the whole game. They have, 13 turnovers. But when they are moving the ball faster instead of dribbling, they're getting numbers, and they're having the big guys. I thought Ware did a great job of attacking. I thought Pearson did a great job a couple of times. I thought Chapman did. Now, I would like to see him do a little bit better job in the offensive boards. I think we have him for 4 of those 16 rebounds are offensive. Well, it'd be nice if we can get that to 12, 13, 14. And that's not impossible. That's not impossible, especially for those 3 young men who are very skilled at attacking the backboard.
Individually, David Nolan leads all scorers with 12 points for Wooster. Micah McKee with 7. Hamilton, who averages 16, only has 5. For Mansfield Senior, Maurice Ware having a nice first half. He's got 8 points. Anthony Pearson with 6. And the big one, Shad Kramer, has been held scoreless, but he picked up that 3rd foul there in the second quarter. Hopefully they can get something out of him in the second half.
Well, they can. And he got in the second quarter and got the foul relatively quickly. And as you said afterwards, and I agree, and I'm sure Coach Sykes agrees, and I'm sure that Shad agrees now, I probably shouldn't have gone after the ball. I had 2 fouls. I have to give it up. But in the moment, the young man is just playing hard.
Right.
And Brian, as well as I do, it's a lot easier when players are playing hard to try to hold them back, restrain them, than it is trying to get them to play hard. And Coach Sykes, I think tonight he's got the kids playing hard. Yeah, they'd like to do some things better, but they're playing with great effort and much better than what I saw against Ashland 2 weeks ago.
We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back with the second half right after this from Pete Henry. You're watching high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Wooster, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
Pete Henry as the Tigers trail by 12 as we start the second half. One thing Mansfield Senior has going for them, their 2 wins this season right here at Pete Henry. They're 0-3 on the road, 2-0 at home.
Yeah,
so
that helps. Again, it would be nice if we could have a student section here.
Maurice Ware picking up where he left off in the first half. Attacks the basket. He's now in double figures with 10.
And that's big. Maurice only played 7 minutes the first half because of 2 fouls. I think tonight this has been by far the best lineup on the court for senior high.
And Ware comes up with a steal and another bucket at the other end. And it's now an 8-point ball game. Maurice Ware is on fire out of the locker room.
And senior high is playing a zone down here. And so far they've caused 2 turnovers and 2 transition baskets.
Kramer's on the floor with 3 fouls.
3 turnovers.
And Ware with 2, and he pushes all the way up. Chapman from just inside the free throw line.
And Upchurch on the offensive boards. That's good to see. And a fourth turnover.
The Tigers are going to get the ball back.
Here's a chance to make your run.
Well, and Mike Snowbarger doesn't like what he sees, takes a timeout. Tigers within 8. Tonight's high school broadcast being brought to you live and free on the OH Report, thanks to our generous sponsors, Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Meet the SmartVestor Pro team at whitakerwealth.com. And Park National Bank, new name, same bank, bigger promises, with locations in both Mansfield and Wooster. And tonight's scoreboard is presented by mymechanics.com. They're always a better way to bank. Let's find yours. Brian Harder, Greg Collin from Pete Henry, and we've got a good one here in the third quarter. The Generals undefeated in the OCC, and I don't know what they thought when they came into this gym and looking how the Tigers had played this season, but the Tigers came to play.
They are. They're playing with a lot of effort, and I like the idea of starting the quarter in a 2-3 zone. The second quarter, Wooster scored 11 points. Mansfield played a lot of zone that quarter, number 1, so why not come back to it? It was effective. But number 2, you've got 3 players in there, especially Shad Kramer with 3 fouls, Ware and Chapman with Ware and Upchurch with 2, so protect them a little bit more with the zone. Now, one thing that's the zone is effective in many areas, but one area it's very effective is transition, because you have players already in lanes. So they've caused 4 turnovers. They've been able to get out on transition. They've been able to convert, 2 out of the 3 times. Hey, if you're Marquis Sykes, we're staying in this. Still, let's get a hand up on Nolan, but we're going to stay in this, and then they prove they're going to be effective against the zone.
Team's back out on the floor now. There was some moisture over by the Tigers bench. I think they've gotten that under control.
Well, the timeout and the lengthy timeout is not good for when you have momentum. And senior high had momentum, and hopefully they can get back to it right now. They had a lot of juice. They got to create some more juice right here.
That's Upchurch in the corner. Kramer.
Doing a lot of dribbling. Get a little ball reversal here in the half court. And then look to dribble penetrate.
Ware thought about the 3. Pulls up from about 12 feet, and he's fouled. So Maurice Ware, who has played very well tonight,
yes,
is going to go to the line. He's already got 12 points.
He gives them such a spark. He can do so many things. Yeah, he's not a prolific scorer, but he's a worker. And he's getting points the hard way, taking it hard to the basket, playing good defense and getting turnovers.
It's 2 for 2 from the line. And if he makes this one, he can make this a 7-point ball game. And Ware splits the pair. He now has 13.
Looks like they're going to a little zone pressure, maybe a little trapping of their own, a 2-2-1.
And they throw it away, and the Tigers get the ball back.
I think it's the first time they've shown that today. Maybe it surprised Wooster a little bit, but
I like having Ware and Upchurch up top in that press because they're long, they're athletic, and they're quick.
Oh, and they're always moving. Yeah. Oh, I think they're perfect up there.
Ware with another jump stop, but he loses control, and Roach has it for the Generals.
That's one of the few mistakes he's made tonight.
Pederini with another 3, his second of the night.
Again, that's only 3 threes for the night for the team, so that's 9 points. Yeah, you want to have a hand up, you want to have a little bit better pressure, but again, it wouldn't get me out of the zone yet.
Kramer, I don't know if that was supposed to be a pass, but
hell, the young man just hasn't had a chance to play a lot tonight, and I'm sure he's probably feeling a little frustration.
Hamilton for 3. And Kramer clears the miss.
And they have numbers again. Good hands by Wooster, good defense.
Hamilton on Ware, and Ware draws the foul. That's his 3rd. Little frustration there by Maurice Ware. So Hamilton goes to the line. Hamilton with a very quiet 5 points.
Yeah, it's Pederini that's knocked down 2 of their
He's
4
got
threes.
1, but he's 1 for 5 from the
Right.
3-point line. Take a look at some of our action coming up here on the OH Report. The Lady Rams of Upper Sandusky tomorrow. Mount Gilead at 2:30. The Lady Indians, we were over there to see the guys play last week. Centerburg takes on Mount Gilead in boys action at 2:30. And then the Tigers take on Temple Christian at 3:30 here at Pete Henry.
That's probably the first time those teams have met. Yeah.
Tigers down by 11. This has been a strange year, and scheduling has been difficult for all of these athletic directors. And they are doing what they can. And in fact, as we see a foul,
that was a good call.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association has expanded their rules and put some clarification in for the rest of the season.
Yeah, now I don't know if any teams would want to do this, but if you want to, you could play 2 games in one day.
You'd sign up for that, wouldn't you?
Well, I like to prepare a little bit. I think the good rule, though, is what they did in football is once you're eliminated in the tournament, you can continue to play regular season games until the state finals, which is good. Let kids play.
Well, because you look at a team like Mansfield Senior, they've only got 5 games in, and we're at the end of January.
Correct, right.
You know, teams have had quarantine. Shelby's now quarantined. Pearson for 3.
And that's what he can do.
Much needed shot from the perimeter by the Tigers.
Coach Sykes said he's a shooter, and it was a nice baseline drive, baseline pass, and knocked down the shot.
Pederini misfires from outside. Kramer clears the rebound. Pederini's not afraid to shoot it either. Nice ball movement. Pearson, a runner on the baseline, doesn't go.
Now they weren't going to let him have a second uncontested shot.
Nolan in the lane. Nice ball movement by the Generals. Nolan wide open for three. And McKee battles for the rebound, but it comes down into the hands of Anthony Pearson.
It kind of looks to me that some of the Tigers are maybe getting a little tired. They're not used to this pace. I don't know if they've played at this pace yet this year.
Pearson again for three.
There we go.
Pearson with his second three of the third quarter.
Not
it's
just
now a 5-point ball game.
Hey, that's big, but not just tonight. But if he can get the confidence and open up the inside a little bit this year, it's going to help everybody else scoring.
And that's a traveling violation. I also thought McKee was in the lane for a very long time.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's still a turnover, and the Tigers now with a three can make this a 2-point ball game.
That would be big, and I'm sure that the players are going to look for Pearson, but I would think Wooster's going to have a hand up, but he's got the hot hand right now, and half-court sets has not been one of senior high's strengths tonight, but
Ware.
Nice move.
And
nice
partially
defense.
Blocked, and McKee up ahead to Dossie. Oh, what a nice block by Ware, but an offensive rebound, and here come the Tigers.
It was outstanding defense.
Ball poked away by Nolan, but if we get a look at that block by Ware, he has played very well. Watch
now
how
look
far
at that.
He comes.
He came from nowhere. That was great defense.
Maurice Ware is playing arguably his best game of the year. 13 points. He has been everywhere defensively.
Now, if we had a full gym, a student section,
this place would be
they would be rocking right now. You're right.
Hamilton into McKee, who again, that's a lot of time inside the lane.
And a good block by
Here
Crawford.
comes Ware the other way.
Nice.
I tell you what, even when he loses control of the ball, it falls right back into his hands.
That's good, clean living.
He's living well.
But, players that work hard have a tendency to have the ball fall in their hands more than players that don't.
Hamilton, another three, and he continues to struggle from the perimeter.
And senior high continues to do a good job of rebounding.
It's a 3-point ball game with 1:13 to go. Now the Tigers can afford to be patient here at the offensive end of the floor and not just look to throw something up.
Well, you're right. If Wooster's going to allow you to be patient. But, again, still be aggressive. Get the ball to the basket. If you can find Pearson for a three, great. But be aggressive and penetrate.
Tried to go inside to Shad Kramer. And there's a tie-up. And the possession arrow goes to the Tigers. And the thing that I like about Shad Kramer tonight, he's not trying to force things offensively. No. He knows who the hot hands are, and he's moving the ball very well.
Well, and I don't think there's any question that the Tigers are playing better when he's in the game, specifically because of his ball handling, his decision-making.
He can break down a defense and make them collapse. Going to call the foul on Dossie.
Maurice Ware is doing a good job of dribble penetrating. Wooster knows he's coming. They're trying to step in front, but Maurice is skilled enough to step away from the defense and here draw the foul or get open for an easy shot.
Foul was on Dossie. That's his second. Kramer being guarded by the sophomore Hahn.
Keep that ball moving. You have time.
Pearson with a runner in the lane. He might have been fouled, but going to call a jump ball. This one's going to go to Wooster.
And that was a tough move. Now, Anthony is playing well, so everybody's going to make mistakes, but there was a lot of congestion in there, and he was trying to go off 1 foot from about 10 feet, and that was a tough shot.
Wooster will slow it down with 20 seconds to go before the fourth quarter. Ten seconds. Nolan with a runner in the lane. It's partially blocked. Ball out of bounds and a middle Wooster with 1.1 second to go.
I think Coach Sykes thought that, like I did, that maybe Chapman had a good block and then maybe they had an arm around him.
Tigers only down by 3 as we head to the fourth quarter. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Tigers down by 3 as we head to the fourth quarter. They outscored the Generals 13-4 in the third quarter, and they are very much in this ball game.
And that out of the 4 points, the only field goal was Petterini's 3. Combination of good defense, and of course Wooster started the quarter with a bunch of turnovers.
Kramer launches a 3 that doesn't go.
And an offensive board
by Chapman doesn't go. Ball's on the ground, and who's it going to go to? It's going to go to the Tigers. Jackson Williams doesn't like the call, but it's going to stay with the Tigers.
I like that sequence. I mean, hey, Shad Kramer, open 3, you got to take it, but then they had guys on the offensive boards. And then hustle for the loose ball.
Bradley penetrates. And McKee clears the miss.
I think Maurice Ware's got 3 fouls. Shad Kramer's got 3, but we're in the fourth quarter now.
Doesn't matter.
You got to play. Looks like 2-3 zone again. Get your hands up, fellas.
In the lane. And McKee, that should be over the back on McKee.
Oh.
Wow.
Ooh.
And if we get a replay of that, that should have been a foul on McKee.
Well, I think that's what the Tiger faithful feel. But again, this is what Wooster, they play hard. They're going to play hard. Senior high has been playing hard. So tough game to officiate.
Nolan thought about the 3. Tigers doing a really good job, even in the zone, taking away the perimeter shot.
Yeah, right now they're back to a man-to-man, but they're keeping the ball in one half the court.
Open shot by Hahn doesn't go.
I think he hit a couple
Bradley
in the first half, so he's very capable. Nice ball screen.
Kramer off balance pulls up, and Pearson with a big offensive rebound, and a foul's going to be called on Ethan Hahn.
Well, that time D'Angelo Chapman set a ball screen, and the most difficult ball screens are the random ball screens. When they don't come out of the half-court offense, the defense doesn't know they're coming, and that opened up a good shot by Shad Kramer, and then Anthony Pearson on the offensive boards.
Take a look at some of the other action coming up here on the OH Report. The Lady Rams of Upper Sandusky take on the Bucyrus Lady Redmond. That's tomorrow at noon. And the Mount Gilead Lady Indians at 2:30 take on Fredericktown and the Lady Freddies. And then Centerburg in boys action takes on Mount Gilead tomorrow at 2:30. And the Tigers of Mansfield Senior here tomorrow at 3:30 to play the Crusaders of Temple Christian. You can see all of that here on the OH Report. And we have a celebrity in our midst, Bernie Sanders. He decided to leave. There he is. It's not that cold in here.
I tell you what, I've seen Bernie everywhere. And
now you talk about good hair.
Oh, hey.
He's got to be happy if he's a Tigers fan, seeing the Tigers only down by 3 with 6.5 to go.
And he'd be happy of the way they're playing. They're playing hard. I think they're executing the game plan that Coach Sykes had for them. And
Pearson for 3.
And that was a set from a timeout.
Ware couldn't connect on the offensive rebound, and the Tigers have had 2 opportunities here. They need to get another stop.
And Micah McKee, number 1 for Wooster, averages 2 block shots a game. Very capable shot blocker. A lot of time left. Senior High goes back to the zone.
Dossie open for 3 again. And Pearson with a big rebound, but he can't hang on to it.
That's too bad. He had an open player down. Maurice Ware was open down the court.
So it's still a 3-point ball game. Neither team has scored. And
good
Ware's
call.
Going to draw the foul on Ethan Hahn. And that'll be his second.
That's a tough matchup for Ethan Hahn. Maurice Ware is much bigger and stronger. And
Tyler Petterini comes back into the ball game for Wooster. And Emil Upchurch off the bench for the Tigers. And Pearson will sit down for Mansfield Senior.
Marquise gives him a little love as he deserves it. He's played well so far.
Upchurch picked up by Hamilton.
And Emil Upchurch is certainly one that can get the ball to the basket.
Ware loses the handle. And Wooster looks to add to a 3-point lead.
Even with that turnover, Senior High is doing a much better job this half in handling the basketball.
Another long offensive rebound. Hamilton from the corner.
Yeah, you can't give him too many open looks, but
yeah, they pushes the lead to 6. Sooner or later, Hamilton's going to make you pay if you leave him open from the outside, but he's still, with only 9 points on the night, Tigers still with an opportunity here, only down by 6 with 5 minutes to go.
And that right there is understandable if you're Mansfield Senior. What's not understandable is not getting the rebound, not getting the loose basketball. Once the loose basketball is picked up by Wooster, it's a scramble situation by Mansfield defense, and unfortunately Nolan's the one that's open in the corner, and Wooster finds him.
Wooster 45, Mansfield Senior 39. With 5 minutes, 12 seconds to go. The Generals looking to go to 6-0 in the OCC. And the Tigers, if they want to stay in the conference race, they cannot afford that second loss.
Now, they have 3 players, Ware, Chapman, Kramer with 3 fouls. But as a team this half, they only have 1 foul. So they still can play aggressive, especially those that don't have 3 fouls. And hit the offensive boards, do what you wanted to do all day.
Upchurch. It's blocked by Hamilton, and Hamilton's going to be called for the foul. He can't believe it.
And that's team foul number 6. So we'll shoot here because of a shooting foul, and then we'll be in the 1-on-1 the rest of the game. And, again, the way the Wooster plays aggressively, if Senior High can pick up those foul situations and knock down free throws at the free throw line, boy, it's nothing better when you're playing a favorite and you're behind to score when the clock stopped.
Upchurch is a 75% free throw shooter, looks to split the pair here, and he misses them both.
And now Wooster's out on the run.
Nolan will slow it down. Ball knocked out of bounds, and it'll go to the Tigers.
And I don't want to say that's
Wooster's-
something that Senior High forced, but
Wooster's letting them hang around.
they are. I for whatever reason, Wooster's making some mistakes here. Senior High just needs to take advantage of it.
Bradley with a tough runner on the baseline doesn't go. And Hamilton with the rebound, and it's going to be a foul on Miles Bradley.
And that's fine. That's only foul number 2. You're being aggressive. The game this quarter seems to have slowed down quite a bit. Not the transition that we had the first 3 quarters.
It's like the boxing match where you had the flurry of punches in the third quarter, and now everybody's trying to feel each other out here in the fourth.
Yeah,
Wooster has been unable to really deliver the knockout punch.
and with that being said, I think that favors Senior High. Again, Wooster had to come into this game thinking we're a heavy favorite. We thumped Ashland they beat Ashland by 3 or 4. Ashland thumped Senior High. They had to feel that they're the heavy favorite in this game, so keep it close, make the plays at the end.
And you got to give Marquise Sykes and these Tigers a lot of credit. They came out here ready to play and have played with a high energy level for the most part all night long. Hamilton connects on his second 3 of the half, and the lead is now back up to 9.
Yeah, and Miles Bradley got his hand up, but it was a little late. We always talk about hand down, man down, and when you have a shooter especially, you got to close out with a hand up. Hips down, hands up.
Upchurch blocked on the baseline, and they push it up to Petterini. And another block by the Tigers, but an offensive putback by the Generals. And a timeout taken by Marquise Sykes, and this one is starting to get away from the Tigers.
And I can tell you what Coach Sykes is not happy with. Maurice Ware bust his tail to get down to make another block. But then there's nobody else from Senior High following, and Wooster does and gets an easy putback. You look at Maurice Ware right there and you say, fellas, we all have to match his effort.
Yes.
We got to match that.
So now the Tigers down by 11 in time becoming a factor now, 3:13 to go. So they need 2 things. We've talked about this in previous games. They need offense and they need stops at the defensive end of the floor.
Well, exactly. They probably going to have to get out of their zone here pretty soon and get out and pressure a little bit more. And they've had trouble in the half-court offense, but they're going to be running some half-court offense here, so they're going to have to try to score something from the half-court, whether it's from the initial shot or the second chance shot.
Haney is back on the floor for the Tigers. They've got Pearson out there as an outside threat.
Good ball movement. Nice
Haney.
Ball movement.
Pearson
there you
for
go,
3.
Anthony. There you go. Good ball movement. Good half-court offense by Senior High out of a timeout.
Long shot doesn't go, but McKee with an offensive putback. That's big.
That is big. You were fortunate that Wooster shot the ball quick, but you weren't able to get the defensive rebound.
So Pearson and Maurice Ware each with 15. Haney with a long 3. You can hear Snowbarger yelling, no, the long outlet pass fought by Micah McKee.
Yeah. They want to run and get that ball down the court, and if they have something easy, take it. If not, here in the half court, they're going to try to open up the lane a little bit and use it for driving.
Tigers only with 2 team fouls as we are under 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Nice look inside to Hamilton.
That
might have
was
been
a
the
very
dagger.
nice pass.
Chapman. It's a nice little jumper by Chapman.
That is, and again, Coach Sykes has said that's something he worked on in the off season.
Foul's going to be called on Haney, and with 1:17 to go, it's now looking like the Tigers are going to drop this one. Wooster just needs to be smart here at the end of the ball game. Tigers with 3 team fouls.
And if you're Coach Sykes, you still want the kids to finish strong. Work your tail off. Go hard. Here they go. You got a turnover.
Ware pushes for the Tigers. Follow-up doesn't go by Pearson, but he hustles for the offensive rebound. Chapman misfires for 3. Another offensive rebound by Pearson. Unfortunately, he throws it to McKee. And the Tigers get it back with 47 seconds to go.
Here's Maurice Ware, tries to take it coast to coast, and a little bit too much defensive pressure there. But it's hard to fault that young man. He's played a pretty good game.
I'll tell you what, and normally in a losing game, we don't give our player of the game to someone from the losing team, but Maurice Ware has played extremely well tonight.
And extremely hard also. And, boy, if that can get contagious to everybody on the team, they're going to have a lot of success down the road. Now, the last person that would ever think of a moral victory is Marquis Sykes. But as a coach, I'm sure after the game he'll look back and he'll see things they need to continue to work on. And like every team, there are things. But he'll also look back and say, you know, we made a big jump in some areas.
Well, and he can also point to this is what we did for 3 quarters, and we were down by 3 heading into the 4th, and they kind of let up on the energy level a little bit in the 4th.
I thought so.
And if we play to the level of the Maurice Wares, everybody plays to that level, you know, that's a teaching point.
Especially as long as he's played at that. Now, he only played 7 minutes, I think, first half because of foul trouble. But, you know, him, Shad Kramer especially, sitting out that second quarter so much is where Wooster was able to build a little bit of a lead at halftime. But compliments to Senior High for getting back in the game. And when they got the lead down to 3, it seemed like it was there for a minute and a half. Like they had 2 or 3 possessions.
Yeah, Wooster couldn't come down and they couldn't make a shot.
Right.
So the Generals are going to get the ball back with 25 seconds to go, up by 10.
It's a big win for Wooster. Again, any conference win on the road is a good win.
Fouls on Maurice Ware, and that'll be his 4th, but that's immaterial at this point. Still only the 5th team foul for the Tigers, so the Generals will inbound the ball.
I think Coach Snowbarger is happy just getting out of here with a W.
(54-44), the Tigers play well for stretches, but they fall down the stretch and lose by 10 to the Wooster Generals. We'll be back to wrap things up after this. You're watching boys high school basketball live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
We are uniting Park National's family banks under one name to serve you more.
This bank's about service to the community.
I mean, your customers become your family, and by and large, you become their family.
Customers do come in and they do feel like they're a part of our family, and they feel like they know us and we know them and we care.
Park National, our family of banks, all together now.
Hi, I'm John Mark Young, a financial advisor and owner with Whitaker Myers Wealth Managers. Whitaker Myers Group has been a local trusted advisor since 1869, serving families in Ashland, Richland, and Wayne counties. We believe in the financial freedom and power of living debt-free. With offices in Ashland, Mansfield, Wooster, Columbus, and South Carolina, we have advisors that are ready to help you begin your journey to financial success. Visit our website at www.whitakerwealth.com to learn more and schedule a meeting.
back here at Pete Henry where the Tigers lose a tough one, 54-44. And as we take a look at the final stats, this is a game that they were down by 3 in the fourth quarter against arguably the best team in the conference, and they had an opportunity. They learned a lot about themselves tonight.
Well, you hope so, and I'm sure as Coach Sykes keeps talking about, the harder you play, the more effort you play with, the better chances you have to be successful. And tonight, in the 3 games that we've had senior high, I know you missed one because you weren't feeling well. This is by far the best that senior high has played, and certainly with the most intensity they've played with.
From the floor, the Tigers 14 of 35, only 3 of 13 from behind the three-point line. That's not a surprise. They're not a very good perimeter shooting team. Free throws, 7 of 12. The rebounding, they hung with Wooster on the boards. It was tied at 32. The turnovers, they had 20 for the ball game, but they really cut that down in the second half.
They did, and especially in the third period when they made their run to get back in the basketball game, they cut down their turnovers, and Wooster increased their turnovers. Not all of them were forced action turnovers, but, hey, they were turnovers by the opponent, and it gave Mansfield Senior a chance to get back in the basketball game. I thought, Brian, in the fourth quarter, senior high scored 5 points. Maybe they got a little tired. Maybe they did. I mean, you're talking about today, especially in the second half, Coach Sykes could not afford to have Shad Kramer off the court, Amir Upchurch off the court. Certainly Maurice Ware had to be out there, D'Angelo Chapman. Those guys had to play. When a couple of them, Maurice Ware and Shad Kramer, were sitting in the second quarter, we saw what happened. Wooster went on long runs. Those guys had to play, and with this up-and-down game that we have, that's tough not to get too many breaks.
Individually, Maurice Ware and Anthony Pearson each scored 15. They led all scorers. Shad Kramer held scoreless because he was in foul trouble most of the first half. For Wooster, David Nolan and Braden Hamilton each scored 15. They're their 2 leading scorers, so that was really no surprise.
Well, no. Now, Nolan maybe didn't shoot the ball as well from the 3 as he would have liked, but for the most part, I thought it was pretty good defense, and I thought it was Maurice Ware that had to defending most of the time.
Well, and speaking of Maurice Ware, here he comes, and we're going to get the headset on him so we can talk to him for a little bit. Maurice, congratulations. I know it was a loss, but you came out and you played with an intensity and an energy, and your teammates seemed to feed off of that.
Yeah, I was just focused right before the game. I got a lot of shots up. And, and I told my teammates to focus and come out playing hard, and I feel like we did that, but the game just slipped away.
Now, you guys were down by 3 going into the fourth quarter. What did Coach Sykes tell you guys in the huddle?
He told us kind of slow it down, just let the game come to us, and I feel like we didn't do that. We kind of rushed shots, so.
You guys, I think you may have learned something about yourself tonight, even though this season has been very strange, it's been very odd, but you guys showed tonight that you can play with the best team in the OCC.
Yeah, we can, definitely. And we didn't give them our best shot tonight.
Well, congratulations on a nice game. You're our player of the game, 15 points, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
So if you can give that back to Coach Collins there. I'll give it to him. Let's talk to Coach Sykes for a second. Boy, Coach. Yeah, the masks are. We can't wait to get rid of the masks. But I tell you what, going into the fourth quarter, you guys are down by 3. We noticed for most of the ball game, you guys played with a whole lot of energy.
Oh, that's really what we've been working on these last couple of weeks or so. We felt like as coaches we weren't playing like Tigers, and that's been our emphasis, is we need to play harder, we need to play with more passion, more energy, more effort, and I saw that tonight from us. Just didn't put it all together on the offensive end. We got enough defensive stops, got enough rebounds. We didn't turn it over as much the second half. just couldn't put it in the basket right when we needed to. We had a shot. I think we were within 3, and it stayed there for a few possessions. We just couldn't get over that hump tonight. Dug ourselves too big of a hole in that first quarter. Giving up 27 points in a quarter is way too much. And getting back out of that 12-point hole is just too difficult when you're having a hard time making shots.
Unfortunately, Shad gets in foul trouble, so they really kind of take him out of things offensively. But Maurice and Anthony picked up the slack.
Absolutely. Maurice, that's the Maurice Ware that we expect to see the rest of the season. He came in tonight and was focused, and that was the difference. He was really focused on executing the game plan, and he attacked the basket and did the things that he's capable of doing. And when he's doing that, he's a pretty good player. We also saw Anthony Pearson come in and make some shots for us. He's a very capable shooter. We need his scoring. He also rebounded for us tonight a little bit. So we slowly putting it all together. We saw some good things and obviously some bad things, but we're going to continue grinding, and hopefully come sectional time we'll be a different ball team.
Well, even though it's a loss, you can still take some pretty positive things out of this, can't you?
Oh, always. We'll break down the film and see where we can improve, and also show the guys where they did what we expected of them. So we'll learn from it, absolutely. And the good thing is we got another one tomorrow afternoon, and hopefully we'll be able to get this nasty taste out of our mouth.
Well, that's a tough one, but good luck tomorrow night against Temple Christian.
I appreciate it.
Okay, that's head coach Marquis Sykes of the Tigers of Mansfield Senior. They fall by 10 points to the Generals of Wooster, 54-44. And, we talked about this all game long. If they can play with that energy and get everybody playing at that tempo and that pace and that desire and effort, they're going to win more than they're going to lose.
Oh, there's no question. I think what the coaches have to do now is say, hey, fellas, the bar is set right here. This is the minimum, the very minimum that we can expect from you guys. When you have to coach effort, it makes life tough. But if you have great effort, now you can start teaching skills, fundamentals, X's and O's, all that can fall into place.
We take a look back at, and this is what we talked about before the ball game, the key of the game. Limit turnovers. They averaged 15 coming in. They had 20, but they cut that down in the second half.
Right. When they played better, the third quarter especially, they didn't have, maybe one turnover the whole third quarter. So as it makes sense, when you play a team that forces turnovers, if you can take care of the basketball and get more shot attempts, you're going to have a better chance of success.
Second chance points, they only had 5.
Yeah, you would like that number to get better. I thought the effort was better on the offensive boards. I thought they got a few more offensive boards. But again, as Coach Sykes mentioned, they'll watch the film. That's an area where they can, and I expect them to get better as the season progresses.
And the points per possession was better, sort of.
Well, it was defensively. As we look at the stats right now, Wooster scored .85 points every possession. Defensively for senior high, that's not bad. If you can keep a team under .9 or .91, .92, that's pretty good. But offensively, you have to be over 1. Tonight, senior high's at .69. For the season, they're well under 1 point per possession. That's certainly an area they have to improve upon.
With the win, Wooster is now 8-1 overall. They're 6-0 in the OCC, and Mansfield Senior drops to 2-4. They are 1-2 in conference play. The final score tonight, Wooster 54, Mansfield Senior 44. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer was Adam Thompson, and the fine camera work courtesy of Mason Neese and Jory Hollenbeck. Our stats courtesy of Zach Massa. Most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final score, Wooster 54 and Mansfield Senior 44. You've been watching high school boys basketball live and free on the OH Report, powered by BS Media Productions. Thanks again to our generous sponsors for making all of this possible. Keep it locked into the OH Report, your new home for live sports coverage in North Central Ohio and beyond. For Greg Collins, I'm Brian Harder. So long from Pete Henry.